First, though, the more we buy, the more we litter in this country. And there's actually a study out now which shows that 75% of us admit that we have littered in the past 5 years. 75% of us. And some of it's a huge amount of littering. And more surveillance cameras are trying to catch some of the litter bugs as they do the dirty deed. We're going to show you some of those as consumers correspondent Elizabeth Leamy joins us from Washington. Elizabeth?
Diane, litter is a dirty problem and it's hard to clean up. Some communities have passed fines of up to $1,000, but police don't have time to enforce those fines. One Alabama city was so desperate that it created these forms for people to turn in neighbors who litter. And one anti-littering group was founded 50 years ago and says it hasn't even put a dent in the problem.
The hidden cameras in these woods aren't here to videotape animals. They're supposed to capture the license plates of dumpers, like this guy. If this were the Olympics, he'd be a lock for the gold in speed dumping. These men tossed an old television, this one a VCR. Here goes a kid's bike and a lawnmower. But why chuck this junk in the woods?
That, to me, is particularly sad because it's many people who are driven by economics.
People often try to avoid paying to unload commercial garbage at a licensed dump like this one, so they pollute our forests and streams and lakes instead. We all pay to clean up dumping and littering. In California, $40 million a year. Texas, $32 million. Iowa, $13.5 million. Pennsylvania, $10 million. And that's just to pick up roadside litter, never mind any enforcement. Meanwhile, these smokers are contributing to the biggest litter problem in America. You see, cigarettes are more than just a health problem.
Cigarettes are the most littered item in America by a significant factor.
According to a new study for the state of Texas, right behind cigarettes as a source of litter are cups, lids, and straws, plus beer and soda cans. Some states and localities are setting up stings to catch litter bugs. This dad and daughter, convicted of dumping more than 20 times at this creekside location, had to pay $500 and pick up 6 tons of garbage. In Columbus, Ohio, cops placed an ad asking for somebody to take away this pile of garbage. These two men agreed to do the job for $80.
Nice and pretty for me.
But instead of driving to the local landfill, they stopped at this apartment complex dumpster. Sheriff's deputies were watching and made the dumpers load all the garbage back into their truck and take it to a licensed landfill. One of the guys was fined and sentenced to community service. He got caught. Most don't. Some people caught on tape are never even identified. Finally, a sight you won't soon forget. At first, it looks like this man just tossed a bag of garbage. But those are puppies crawling out. 5 of them just dumped in the woods. The surveillance camera never showed what happened to the pups. But the camera did capture the license plate of the guy who dumped them. He pled guilty to animal neglect and littering.
And the guy who dumped the puppies got a sentence of just probation because he was ill. His is an extreme case, but one study did show 72% of litter bugs are men. Also, that young people litter more than old people, and people in rural areas are more likely to litter than people who live in urban areas. Diane?
And Elizabeth, tell me again, how high can the fines go?
Up to $1,000, but the problem is they're not enforcing these fines because they've got other crimes they're worried about.
Okay, hope those puppies are okay too. Thanks a lot. And